Hello everyone, today I started building. Wait, what's that in the window behind me? That looks like me doing another Bloxburg intro. Hello everyone, today I started building. Wait, what's that in the window behind me? Wait a minute, I'm getting a bit of deja vu. That looks like me doing another Bloxburg intro. Hello everyone, today I started building. Wait, what's that in the window behind me? That looks like me doing another Bloxburg intro. Let's just start the video. After like an hour on Pinterest, I finally decided on an exterior for this first build. Something like this. I was slightly inspired by Italian and Japanese architecture. Bright colors are also a staple in this build. I feel like there isn't enough colorful Bloxburg builds these days because everyone's so stuck on the realism trend. Why can't builds be realistic and colorful? I used quite a few basic shapes on this one building. I wanted to make the storefront look less flat and like the reference. If you guys play Bloxburg, I highly recommend the Transform Plus Game Pass. It is honestly the best, along with advanced placement, of course. You gotta resize those basic shapes. Slightly off topic, but I've recently finished my exams. But I have more next year if I pass this year. Aww. If you couldn't tell by my obviously real voice, but I'm from the UK. That basically means my exams were harder than the Americans' exams, of course. I'm not saying Americans are dumb, the British schooling system is just harder. The Bloxburg YouTube community is pretty small. One of my favorite creators is VNewt. They haven't posted in like over 2 months. I hope they come back. I enjoyed their videos so much. Whilst building this build, I started thinking, what should it sell? I decided it would be like an antique sort of thrift shop, based on what I could see in the window of the reference. I think I spent way too long on this one build. It took me around 2.5 hours. Right now you can see me building a custom lantern. It was quite annoying but totally worth it. I'm pretty sure this lamp took me like 20 minutes. 20 minutes too long. Let's just cut to when it's finished. Wow, that was fast. Now I'm working on the upper floor's protruding windows. It's pretty easy since I just had to make one then copy and paste it. I think the windows turned out looking amazing. Maybe I'm just biased. I hope to turn this style of build into a town or city build series. Let me know in the comments if it's something you'd like to see. Also leave suggestions for future builds you want to see. I literally abused the Transform Plus tool for this build. I don't even remember what life was like without it. The Transform Plus glaze is real. Custom shutter montage. That was irritating to build. Roofing time. Surprisingly, these roofs were rather easy to build. I think adding the roof pulls the build together. Now I'm adding an awning under the windows because it looked quite empty. Time to decorate the side of the build. I love this color scheme. I highly recommend the color wheel on Bloxburg. It's amazing. The reference has something like an aircon unit on the side. It also makes it look more cluttered, which is a must for this style of build. Time to decorate the street. I used a flat roof in the basement to create a curb. The reference also had a potted plant, so let's add that. Now for the side street. I love the Vespa in the reference, so I added one. The wall still looks slightly empty, so I thought to add pipes under the AC. Let's add a road now. I used dirt piles to add detailing to the road to make it look more rough and worn out. Breaking news! We have recently discovered roughly half of Earth's population believe penguins live in the North Pole. However, this is not true. Penguins only live in the South Pole. This has struck outrage among school boards and has left people questioning whether their education was trustworthy. We have interviewed some of Bloxburg's residents for their opinions.
What the frick is that? What is going on here?
I'm gonna cry.
That concludes our breaking news. Time for the interior. Since it's like an antique shop, I decided to use the mid-century shelf. I also made a custom display unit too. This is going to be a custom checkout desk. I love using basic shapes, that's probably obvious by now. Again, with the basic shapes, I'm making a checkout machine. Here is a silent tutorial for it. Stocking the display unit, I decided to put jewelry, pots and handbags as that's what it looked like in the window of the reference. Record albums are a must in retro antique style builds. I'm adding clothing racks as I assume these kind of shops have old clothes. Now I'm building a custom glass shelf inspired by something Bloxburg YouTuber Lofi built in her city build series. Here's how I did it. Just repeat this step until it's all covered. Now repeat the same but horizontally. It looks so cool. Now to add shelving to it. Stocking these shelves was so difficult. Would an antique shop even have lava lamps? More clutter. Time for the tour. I think this build turned out so good. It's super colorful, perfect for summer. I low-key prefer winter and autumn over summer though. Summer is just too hot and uncomfortable. Second build of the video. Can you guys guess what it is? It will be revealed once this build is completed. Let's make a slightly custom window because I couldn't resize the one I wanted. Using the structurals was so annoying they just wouldn't line up. Time skip because I spent way too long on this window. I know it's been a while since the doors and windows update, but I love it. Do you know what it is yet? Another awning, but only above the window. I love the blue color scheme. If you couldn't tell from this video, my favorite color is blue. Is it obvious? This build is giving like London or City High Street vibes. I think it kinda looks like a Jellycat shop, but it's not. Any guesses yet? Now I'm adding a hanging plant pot next to the door, using the dreaded structurals to connect it to the wall. The spring garden update is a lifesaver for landscaping. I love it so much. I use the lily of the valley flower the most and the lavender plant. Is the outdoor seating a hint? Do you know what it is yet? Working on the second floor because it looks plain. Adding the roof is the easiest part for this build. Windows. Roof decorations because it looks flat. Flower pots under the windows can add so much depth. Adding floor to the second floor so the ground floor has a ceiling. Interior time. Can you tell what it is yet? I've hardly ever been to one of these places in real life. I think they're quite common in big cities. Custom checkout counter. The normal ones weren't to my liking. Adding a kitchen. Is it obvious yet? Expanding the back of the build. I needed more space at this build as small as it is. Adding appliances. These are necessities for this type of build. The retro appliances are so suitable. The French update is perfect for this build. Can you guess what it is yet? Decorating the kitchen. Off topic, but have you guys seen the film Hoppers? It was genuinely one of the funniest films I've seen this year. Especially when they made it so animals can be humans. The part where Mayor Jerry crawls on all fours had me dying. Not literally dead, but you get what I meant. The beavers were also so cute from the humans' perspective with their beady eyes. I would love if humans could actually be put into a robot animal. It would be so interesting. Imagine finding out your favorite animal has a secret hierarchy like the animals in Hoppers. The fact all of the Animal Council hated the insect royals was hilarious. It sort of reflected the fact loads of humans hate insects. Anyways, let's add indoor seating. I think it's obvious what this build is. Can you tell yet? More basic shapes because I'm obviously addicted. But this does add some detail to the back of the booth seat. Decorate the walls, it looks so empty. Plant. Menu. Do you know what it is yet? Tour time. Did you figure it out? It's a bakery. It's called the Humboldt Bakery because if you couldn't tell by my name, I love all penguins. I even made a custom decal for this build. It looks a lot cozier than its neighboring establishment. I set the table up to seem like people are using it. I also stocked the display cabinet off camera. I used the new cake display stand from the Elder update. It is perfect for this build. I made it look like they were making bread because I love bread so much, just plain baked bread. I'm actually really good at baking in real life. At least that's what I tell myself. I can only really bake bread and gingerbread men. Time for the final tour. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please leave build ideas in the comments below. Goodbye!